As many of you guys know, COVID has brought a new element to many churches, and that is that they are not doing communion in person, or they're really limited. And thus, some churches have resorted to doing communion through Zoom or different venues like that, and pretty much virtual communion. And so I would like to show you how you can do communion bread for yourself or for your family. Communion bread has 4 elements, and those elements are wheat, oil, water, and salt. And of course, the amounts will vary according to the amount of people that you're serving. But one famous recipe, or at least one famous pattern, is that people use 1 cup of flour, and preferably whole grain, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of water. In addition to that, they also have 1/4 of a cup of olive oil, or as other people have used vegetable oil. But the whole point of this is for this little bread that we're going to make, for it to be unleavened. So the very first thing I like to do is to warm up some water and put some salt in it. Now this is probably a little bit too much water for this little bit, but I like dissolving the salt in the water, so then I can just pour as much water as I think is needed. And then afterwards, I put some water and I start making the dough. And if you need more water, then pour more water in. So this is enough at least for one person or even a small family. This will be just for myself, and I won't be sharing with the bugs and the insects. So the goal is to not have it so sticky, and in that case you just add more wheat to it. And then from there you can add a little bit of oil, and just mix it up again. And I like the dough to be in a place where it doesn't stick to my hand. So I do that in between a balance of more wheat or a little bit more oil, and just play by ear like that. So once the dough has a good consistency, I just like to flatten it out. And this is probably more than just for one person. You can probably use this for 2 or even 4 people. But I just like to flatten it out with my hand. And so I like using this paper because it does say not stain my pan. You can also use olive oil. Some people use coconut oil for it not to stick, or that little spray oil thingy. And so once you have it the shape that you want it, for me, I'm perfectly fine that shape. It works for me, but some people like to cut it up and make it look pretty. And so we're gonna put it in the oven. I'm gonna put it to like 400, but I like keeping an eye on it because these things can get burnt really quick. After a few minutes, you may wanna check to see how your communion bread is doing. I always like to flip it just to make sure that it's cooked evenly on both sides, or at least try to. But I think one good factor is when you start seeing it turning a little bit brown, then it might be ready, it might be pretty cooked. Just be careful, because if it turns too brown, it might be actually like stone hard. So you may want to just try to figure out that balance as well. But remember that according to the thinness of your communion bread will determine also how much time it needs to be in the oven as well. And right now I have a little one cooking, the little one I made. It's super little small, like for 1 person or 2 people. So here's my little piece of communion bread, a little small one I made. Some people, what they like to do is puncture little holes into the bread. I think it cooks better. And so I hope that this video was a blessing, at least to give you guys some ideas to how to do communion bread. And please feel free to adjust maybe the salt and the oil, just so it could be the best flavor possible out there for you. I hope you guys can partake of communion, even if it's virtual. Take care.